everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hi if you're new and welcome to me choosing my February TBR. If you are not familiar with how I choose my TBRs, I have a bowl of prompts. Now, there's a couple of hundred prompts in here, easy. It's a ridiculous amount. Oh, let's catch that little one. Now, this bowl can stitch me up. We have a lot of general prompts, which are things like might have flowers on the cover, might have been published in this particular year, over this number of pages, that kind of thing. We also have specific genres. Now these could be in multiple times. So for example, I have a ridiculous number of classics on my TBR. So I think I put the classics prompt in here 2-3 times. So that's a risk. We've also got specific series, we have specific authors, and we also have specific books. So there is a risk that I will pull 8 prompts that are all specific books and not have any leeway in choosing my TBR at all, and that makes me very, very nervous. However, it was a bit of fun last month, so I'm kind of looking forward to giving it a go. Now, speaking of last month, do we want to speak about last month? Not really. 'Twas not the best reading month. This was my January, I forgot what month we're in then, TBR. There were what I thought were a lot of 5-star anticipated reads in this book. Wow, is all I'm going to say. We're going to go through these now, and what I'm going to say is any books in this stack that I have not read by the end of January will be rolled on to February. Why? Because clearly I like pain. And by the way, if you're not familiar with my channel, this is Duke. Want to say hi? Right, so let's go through these. For the prompt Mariana Zapata, specific author prompt, I had to read this. This was a YA book about Gabby going on the road with her brother's band, and there was a romance in it. It was fine. It was fine. It wasn't the worst book I read this month, so it was okay. It was a quick, easy read. It was the first book I read this year, and it was fine. It has not encouraged me as far as reading excuse me, other books by this author, which concerns me because that prompt has gone back in the bowl and Mariana Zapata is sat here because I have 2 more of her books on my bookshelf. So the next book I pulled, which was for a free pick, Powerless by Elsie Silver. Now this is book 3, I want to say, in the Chestnut Spring series. I love this. I knew I was going to love it, and I did. So it's perfect for me. It's cowboys with ice hockey, romance. It was perfection in a book. So yes, that went well then. So, but anyway, it was a free pick. That was the prompt. So that prompt has gone back in the bowl. I pulled the prompt Tessa Bailey because I have another half dozen books of hers on my shelves, and I pulled Window Shopping off my shelf because I thought I've got a few chunky books on the January TBR. This would be a really good one to read. Basically, you've got, oh my goodness, I've forgotten her name already. Thingy. Wow. Stella, there we go. Who ends up being the window dresser for this department store, and there's a romance. It just, to me, it wasn't up to typical Tessa Bailey standard. I just was a bit bored. I found it really slow moving, and I was a bit gutted, but it was a quick read. I think I read this over like 2 days. It wasn't too bad. Now, the first book that's definitely being added to my February TBR if I don't read it in the next few days is A Tale of Two Cities. Now, I pulled this with the prompt Rory Gilmore reading this, so that prompt has gone back in the bowl. Yeah, I haven't picked this up. I was going to, do you know, no, that's a lie. I read the first 2 to 3 pages and then I put it back down again. But we've still got, as you can see, bookmark with page 4. We've still got about 5 days left of the month, 5-6 days, so it is possible. We're going to put it to the side because, as I said, this is technically currently going on my February TBR. We shall see. Along with this one, Unlock Every Door, the prompt I pulled was Riley Sager, so I know I've got another 1 or 2 books by this author on my shelf, so the prompt Riley Sager's gone back in there. Yeah, I am hoping to start it today, to be honest. Fingers crossed. I'd like to think I'd read either this or the Dickens by the beginning of February. We shall see. I then pulled the Windy City series prompt, and I read The Right Move, and although I didn't like it as much as Mile High, yes, I'm that one person, I actually quite enjoyed this, and I listened to this both by audiobook and by picking up reading it, and it was good. It was a basketball romance. It followed on with some of the same characters from Mile High. I think obviously that's going to be the books, they're all just going to be different characters, but this is a series that I'm quite keen to read this year, so that prompt, Windy City series, back in the bowl. Alright, the next two books I finished over the last few days. Last night I finished The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Now the prompt for this one was, it's been on my TBR for over a year. This was a booktube darling, okay, and I had to have it, and I bought quite a nice edition of it, and I didn't pick it up because I was intimidated, because I thought, I know it's going to be a 5-star, it's going to ruin me emotionally. Oh my goodness. I've been very generous with my 3 stars. It's probably more a 2.5. To be honest, I was bored up until about the last 60-70 pages, which out of a 500-page book. And then I didn't really care for the ending. I thought, oh my goodness, it's getting really good now. Yes, it's right at the end, but it's going to turn it around. I'm really getting into this. And then the ending happened, and I'm like, I'm gutted. This has probably been the biggest disappointment because this was the most anticipated book on that TBR. But I know a lot of people loved it, and I appreciate why, because there's a lot in this. But it just didn't work for me, which is such a shame. The last book, which was Pretty Cover, because I think this is quite nice, it's Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. This was a 5-star anticipated. I looked for this for ages in charity shops. Again, booktube darling, nothing but great reviews. For me, it just didn't hit. Again, probably about 2.5 out of 5. You basically got gamers that are all working together to build this game, and it's like, will they, weren't they romances? And a lot happens, and I just feel that the author tried to fit way too much into this book. Way too much. And just didn't do it for me. So that's why I'm actually really quite nervous about February, because I was expecting it to be a 5-star reading month for me in January, and it wasn't. But anyway, no more waffling. I'm going to adjust, and let's pick these prompts. Okay, I'm going to pick 8 prompts. I'm so nervous about this now. But we're going to do it. Let's just hope it's not 8 specific books and I have no freedom in here. What have we got? What is it? Santa Montefiore. Now this is one of my favourite authors, and I have probably got 5 or 6 different books from this author to read. So this is actually a great start, and I'm quite happy with that. Actually, that's not bad. And an author pick, although it's not a lot of free choice, when I've got half a dozen books from that author, I can at least kind of pick what I'm in the mood for. That's okay. That's okay. Right, what have we got here? Oh no, what is it? It's a specific book. It's Unwell Women. This is a non-fiction. Okay, it's fine. It's fine because I want to read it, and I haven't picked it up, and it's been on my shelf now for quite a while, probably a year or so. So, okay. It's what I was nervous about, but it's fine. It's fine. Right, this one. That's okay. A book you've had for a long time. So if we say with that, a book that I've had on my TBR for a minimum of a year, is that reasonable, do we think? I think that's reasonable. Fine. We can work with that. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, romance. That's good. That is really good. Right, perfect. We like that. Don't we? Is that okay with you? Good lad. Right. Okay, 4 more prompts. I'm nervous about it. Okay, what? A book bought for me by someone else. Well, that's fine. That just means it's a gifted book. We've got loads of those. It's fine. We can do this. We've got 3 more prompts. What do you reckon they're going to be? All specific books? Could well be. Alright. Oh, I don't even want to open it now. It's another specific book. So You Swear. And I know that is a really chunky romance. But I bought it because I wanted to read it, so guess what? Oh, it's okay, it's fine. Would I have picked it up this month? Probably not. But hey, let's do it. Right, this one. Oh, a book in a trilogy. Alright. Interesting. I don't think that's going to give me as much leeway as I think it's going to. But alright, I'll have to look that up. We'll work that. Oh, I know exactly what I'm going to choose. Ooh. Oh, right, anyway. So, calm down, calm down. We're on the last prompt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, we're on the last prompt now. Okay, right, let's go. This little one. You're kidding. Actually, is this a book or is it a series? Of Flesh and Bone. I want to say that's a series. Right, leave it with me. Let me sort these prompts. Let me find some books and I'll come back to you in a minute. Say hello to my February TBR. Yeah, it's sizable. When I went in the other room to start getting through the books, I thought I'm going to make a conscious effort to not pick as chunky a books as I did for January, and that just didn't work. But I don't know, I'm not optimistic about this. We'll go through it now quickly. So for romance, I've gone with an ice hockey romance, okay? We're going for Behind the Net. This is book 1, Vancouver Storm series. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna love it. Okay, ice hockey romances don't tend to let me down, so I'm quite optimistic this is gonna be a winner. So I thought this would be a safe one. If I read a couple of the others first and I'm like getting slumpy, chuck in a nice hockey romance, give me another boost in the middle of the month. Then A Flesh and Bone, book 2, is What Hunts Inside the Shadows. Now, this has got Faye in it, and I enjoyed book 1, but I don't know how well I remember it, so I'm going to read a couple of chapters of this, see how I get on with it, and potentially I will have to swap this out for book 1 if I just don't remember enough, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm actually quite excited to complete the series. I think book 4 is coming out this year, so it would be really, really good to at least get to that stage by the time that book comes out. So we have got Unwell Women, which I'm pleased I'm actually going to pick it up and read it. And this might be one of those I just try and read maybe a chapter or so a day rather than sit down and read a whole non-fiction. And I am excited to read it, but basically it's saying, you know, women have always been treated a bit medically during history, and this is just going to go through it and explain it, and I've just heard really good things, so I'm pleased this is giving me the nudge to read it at last. Trilogy. This is the last book in the Dreamland Billionaire series, so it would be really, really good, although this is a ridiculously chunky book. What romances, I'm sorry, you have no business being nearly 600 pages. It's like 577 pages. But it does finish the series, which was sort of on my, you know, aims for the year. So brilliant, you know, it'll be good. Now this is a random one. You're gonna go, why on earth did you pick this on safe? Well, it's because I'm not picking it up. So a book you've had for a long time is Hamnet. And I don't read a lot of lit fic. It is not a genre I ever just actively like am drawn towards. So we'll see how we go. It's like Shakespeare-y times, is it? Stratford-upon-Avon, yeah, it's a novel inspired by the son of a famous playwright. Right, we have Say You Swear. I know it's American football. I know it's a romance. Again, why is it so big? What's this one? Seriously? 514 pages. But I've just bought the second book in the series. So I need to get this read. We need to do it. We're gonna do it. Then I've chosen a Santa Montefiore book that was originally sent on NetGalley for review. I haven't read it yet. So I thought, not only does this tick off that prompt, the Santa Montefiore prompt, it also means I'm gonna get a NetGalley review done. So it's a win all round, isn't it? And it's fairly short, but this is basically, you've got Rupert who goes off to war. It appears that he goes missing or something. I don't know, it's set in like 3 different time frames. We'll just see how we go. The last book is a book that was gifted to me or someone else bought for me. What's my wording? Bought for me by someone else. And I've got Master of Death by Oliver Blake because my parents bought this for me, was it for my last birthday or last Christmas? It might have been last Christmas. And I'm so excited to read this. And I know there's like a vampire in it, a vampire estate agent. There's a ghost that's haunting a house. I think I read the first chapter before and I meant to go back to it and then life happens. So anyway, we have these, and then currently, as it stands, unless I get them read in the next 5 to 6 days, we also have these. Now, that ain't it. That is not it. Sorry. So Annie Hazelwood is releasing another book on, I think it's like the 4th of February. Is it Deep End or something like that? And I devour Annie Hazelwood books. Even my TBR is giving up on itself, and I've not even started it yet. So I will be reading that book. Well, I'm going to order it, and there's no way I'm not going to read it. I'm just going to be honest with you. And then look what came. Onyx Storm, which is the 3rd book in the Empyrean series, which was like 4th Wing and Iron Flame, which I loved. So there's no way I'm not going to try and fit this in as well. I'm just going to be honest with you. Then, it's a little one, alright? It's a little one. I saw this, and this is a cover by. Look at this. The Baby Dragon Cafe. Tell me you could walk past that. So, yeah. Now, if we did say that we're going to add in the Annie Hazelwood and the books that I didn't read, and Onyx Storm. But anyway, wish me luck. So, as always, let me know if you've read any of those books. Let me know if you want me to video me reading any of those books. If you like this video, consider giving it a like, consider subscribing, and I'll catch you later. Bye.